perfect carnitas that are better than store-bought and just as good, if not better, than your favorite taco spot. Want to learn how to do them? Let's go. What I'm going to be using is pork cushion. So if the way for you to get pork cushion in your local supermarket or your carniceria, this is the meat you want for carnitas. I also took the liberty of adding cueritos or pork skin. To me, it's probably the best thing that there is for carnitas. Now, you can use your typical Mexican caso. They're pretty expensive, but I'm going to be using a Dutch oven just so that you can see that you can use pretty much any pot in your kitchen. And there's a couple of things, or there's a few things that if you follow, you'll get the authentic flavor of carnitas. First things first, we're going to cut our meat and portion it out the way we want it to. Make a mess here. Okay, so for the pork skin, oh, this one's already kind of cut in a good portion, a good size. We're going to use this as a blanket. You'll see what I mean by that once we get the meat cooking. So it's kind of the sizes you want. So if you buy the pork skin and it's in a bigger size, or a larger size I should say, just cut it down to something like this. We're going to be using these as little blankets, you'll see. Now for the pork cushion. Now you want to cut these not too small. You don't want to cut these too small because then it's going to cook real fast and you run the risk of overcooking it. So as you can see, this is one solid piece here that's been semi-butterflied. I'm going to go ahead and just cut it in half like that. And then this half, I'm going to go ahead and cut it in half. So we're going to end up with about 4 pieces here. As you can see, this piece is a little thicker than this. So if you're scared that it's going to overcook, you can kind of cut a couple slits here. Or if you're scared that it's not going to cook evenly, I should say, you cut a couple slits just to kind of even it out. Nothing major. There you go. Now we're not going to add these to the pot yet because the pot, we have to get it hot. We have to get some pork lard in there, and then we're going to sear these so it could get a nice color, nice golden brown. Once we do that, then we're going to add the meat back in there, add all the other ingredients, and start salt it right now so it can start kind of penetrating the meat while we get the rest ready. Go ahead and very liberally. Some of it's going to fall off, and we're going to season as we go. Nothing too complex here. Very easy, as you can see. Very simple. So the first thing we're gonna do is melt some lard here. Just enough to kind of sear those pieces, those 4 pieces that we cut. You don't need too much, but you do need it to be hot. So we're gonna wait for this to be really hot. Once you see a little bit of smoke, you know it's ready, and that's when we're gonna start putting the meat into this pot. Alright, now that you see your first plumes of smoke, you can go ahead and add the carne in there, swirl it around, doesn't get stuck, and we want to add color, we don't want to cook it through. Okay, we're going to do one at a time. We don't want to overcrowd it and then bring down the temperature dramatically, so if we do that, we're not going to get color, and we're looking for color here. We're going to do every single little piece this way. And then once we're done with every single piece, we're going to go ahead and do the next step. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful right there. That's what you want to see, nice and golden brown. So we're going to flip this, and then we're going to start doing that to every single little piece. Alright, now that all our meat is nice and golden brown, like that, we're going to add the rest of the pieces back in there. We're going to go with the bigger pieces at the bottom. And then the smaller pieces on top. But before we do that, before I forget, Gonna go ahead and season them just slightly. Just kind of let them fit like a puzzle. There you go. Now we're gonna add more fats. I know it seems like a lot, but trust me, you need all the fat you can get. So essentially you want the carnita to be swimming in the fat, like a confit, otherwise it wouldn't be a confit, right? This will help cool down the pot and allow the fat to kind of slowly cook the meat. Let's see if we need more. I think I'm gonna go ahead and add more. And while I'm adding the fat, I also lowered the heat to about a low medium. Now you don't want to overdo it. I think this is fine. It's going to cover about 3/4 of it. We're also going to add another liquid, which is a crucial part. Alright, and now we're going to add a little bit of Coca-Cola. I added a whole bottle of the 350 milliliters. We're also going to add oranges. There you go. It's going to give it a little bit of flavor. Coca-Cola is going to give it a little bit of color. Once the sugars start to cook off, it's going to caramelize. And then once we've done that, I'm going to season a little bit again. And now we're going to add the pork skin. And we're going to kind of use it as a blanket to keep the heat, the steam in there. Like that. It's not going to be perfect, obviously. But we're going to do the best we can. There you go. Something like that. And then what I like to do is I kind of like to press it down, have some of the fat kind of go on top of it. And then we're gonna, again, season the top, because these didn't get any salt earlier. And there you have it. We are 3/4 of the way done with this authentic carnitas. You can add buche, which is a stomach lining, which is very amazing. But we kept it simple. Kept it simple with pork cushion and pork skin. So this is what you want to see throughout the whole cook time. Kind of simmering, kind of bubbling. You don't want it to go too crazy. You don't want it to overflow and then cause the fat to go out of the pot and then possibly create a fire. Check it periodically, about every 15 minutes or so, just to make sure that the meat at the bottom is not sticking. Move it around, just kind of juggle it a little bit and just move things around a little bit just to make sure that everything is nice and unstuck. And then you let it go. Alright, it's been about an hour and a half, and let's check our carnitas. Oh yeah, you can see they're falling apart already. Yep, that's what you want. Nice and soft, cooked all the way through. Look at the skin, is beautiful. Perfect. Alright, so here you have it. Nice, flavorful, soft carnitas. Put them on a plate just to kind of show them off a little bit. If they're falling apart, you can make tacos out of this. You can serve it all on a plate. It's your favorite salsa, which by the way, if you're looking for some kind of salsa for this, check out my other videos, my other shorts, where I explain how to make a couple of different sauces that you can have for tacos or just to have on your fridge as perfect kitchen staples. My mouth is watering just putting these on the plate. There's a pork skin, as you can see, nice and beautiful and soft. It does not get any better than this. Authentic carnitas, the way you have it in a taco stand, way better than store-bought. And we only needed Coca-Cola, an orange, some salt, lard, and your Dutch oven. Or any pot that you have. Doesn't have to be a Dutch oven. Very simple. And you can keep the fat. You can keep the lard that was in the pan or the pot that we use. Let that cool down and you scrape the lard off and you leave all the other bits at the bottom. These are the perfect carnitas that are better than store-bought and just as good, if not better, than your favorite taco spot.